that pans out as we head into Champions Select for game number 1 between Invictus Gaming and Imei, as Rek'Sai, Bard, and Hecarim are going to be the 3 bans that come out from the blue side from Invictus Gaming, as Karma, Vladimir, and Rise are going to be the bans coming out from Imei.
So IG taking off the Hecarim, something that we said we've seen a fair bit of moving into this patch and moving into these this particular week of the LPL. The Bard taken from Road does make a lot of sense. Same thing with the Rek'Sai from a Voidless. He's a big carry when he gets that champion. They're leaving open the LeBlanc, the Victor, and even, I could say, the Azir, perhaps, but we don't know if Zatai can play all of them. I know he can play LeBlanc. He's played at top lane, so you've got that going for you.
Well, let's see what he decides to pick up here in game number 1, as Graves was the first lock-in coming in for Invictus Gaming, as Irelia and Trundle are immediately taken away by Imei.
So they're locking the, I guess that's a Trundle support for Road, given that the Irelia has been locked in. I don't mind that. We've seen very successful Trundle supports, naming Savoki in particular from Game Talents. To a great degree of success, we have seen them work, and early rotating that Irelia is a risk, but it's not that big of a risk. It's still just an overwhelmingly good champion.
Still pretty strong champion. Did get touched slightly here in 6.13. Have to see if that affects the patch in any way, as Shen's going to be the lock-in coming in for Invictus Gaming, and we are going to be Sivir being picked up by Rookie.
Yeah, so Sivir is, again, it's a very important champion, I would say. Not only because there's Hecarim, but the way that people are wanting to work around the map at the moment is utilizing that Sivir, maybe have the Karma with it, which of course this game will not. And then if it's not there, put a Braum or something with it so that you can keep your AD carry alive, even keep the Graves going, augment your team if you're losing. You've just got that R key. Generally speaking, Jhin and Sivir are the 2 best AD carries right now.
We'll have to see if Imei pick up Jhin as their AD carrier of choice in response to the Sivir pickup. For now, they're still waiting for their second pick rotations to come in. I already mentioned they have a top laner and potentially a support coming out from the Trundle. Want to see what they do lock in next.
Yeah, we've seen the Aurelia lock in and Zatai locking in the Shen for save in the top lane. Very confusing to say that exact sentence, but the Shen's always been known as a good pick into the Aurelia. You can diffuse that auto attack strength and control the laning phase.
Well, Gragas and Jhin were the 2 lock-ins coming out from Imei, so that should be a Gragas jungle and a Jhin going down as an AD carry, so Imei saving their mid lane pick for last here against Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, the safe assumption, once again, would be something like that Victor. They could go for a Twisted Fate. It is Athena, and you want to match the global presence that's available for a Shen, then Twisted Fate does a decent job of it. We'll see which style they'd prefer, however.
For now, Invictus Gaming looking to pick up their mid laner and support, it seems. LeBlanc being hovered here, like you said, probably one of the few champions that Zatai has actually played. And it is going to be locked in, so we're going to see Zatai play LeBlanc into the mid lane here against Imei. As we're going to wait to see what the support's going to be coming out from Invictus Gaming for Tabe.
And funnily enough, it's just not a surprise. He does lock in the LeBlanc. They should go for the Braum, as mentioned earlier, put it with the Sivir, and just complement the rest of your team. Actually putting up a door and letting Sivir auto-attack directly in front of that door still hits everything. I
mean, Braum is one of Tabe's most played champions this split as well. He even pulled it out during the semi-final match that he debuted for Invictus Gaming last split, so no surprise for that to be coming out for IG.
Yeah, particularly with the Karma taken off the board. It is his second most played besides that Karma.
Whereas Imei now looking for their final pick. It's going to be a mid laner, well, it should be a mid laner. Who knows, as things have really been changed around here today. But they do know it's going to be a LeBlanc being played in the mid lane for Zatai.
Yeah, and it should honestly just be like a Victor now in response. Or they can just, you know what, just go Malzahar.
Yeah, they could just lock in Malzahar, put some Voidlings onto the Rift.
Yeah, no worries, dude. It's something... Okay, so we have actually seen a rising of Malzahar in the LCK, I believe it was, as a top laner. And so deciding to pick this up mid, again, a major question mark. For what it's worth, and one of the strengths that a Malzahar has against LeBlanc, it's similar to what a Maokai has against LeBlanc, is that you've got guaranteed lockdown if she ever looks at you funny. Use Distort, you put yourself next to a Malzahar, he can press R and win that trade every single time.
Top, but it feels like Malzahar is able to use his passive nicely against champions that like to burst out quite heavily.
Yep,
it quite a lot of damage.
Removes half of this Sigil combo. And so the combo has to use the Distort if you can't hit a Sigil beforehand. Risky. Always risky playing against Malzahar as LeBlanc.
So let's see how Zatai does here coming into his match against Athena here today. Back into the mid lane. on LeBlanc. No surprises coming in here, but things have really been shaken up here with day 2 of week 6 of the LPL.
Yeah, this is definitely a different draft to what we have seen a couple of weeks ago. That 1 week off of the LPL has caused a stir.
Well, let's see how game number 1 goes as we head on to Summoner's Rift for game 1 between Invictus Gaming and IMA. We're here on to the Rift for game number 1 between Invictus Gaming and IMA. Quite a few IMA supporters in the crowd there. A few IMA Jiao signs being thrown out by the fans there. Relatively new team coming into the LPL. Already gathered quite a nice following for themselves.
For what it's worth, being a former EDG side, they would naturally have a lot of following.
That is fair.
Through the loving arms of their ex-sister team, be where they have established themselves. And for what it's worth, they've established themselves in the LPL so far.
They've been playing pretty well.
Yeah, 3rd place in their group, 5-3.
Like you said, off of a nice 3-win streak coming into their match here today against Invictus Gaming. As we're able to take a look at the Keystone Masteries really quickly here. Nothing too surprising. Thunderlord's being picked up by Jin once again instead of Death Fire Touch. Gray's picking up Thunderlords as well in the jungle.
Yeah, so Thunderlord's Graves, something that's found a rise in popularity, given that you can burst effectively and have about 3 hit combos every single time. The Warlord's Bloodlust, also the standard of Sivers. Rookie playing Sivir is not a standard, but Warlord's Bloodlust definitely is. As for reference, that Deathfire Touch Malzahar does make an awful lot of sense.
It certainly does. Has a lot of damage over time. Let's see how this mid lane... That's something I definitely want to keep my eye on. The mid lane matchup here. Tatai and LeBlanc. Athena on Malzahar. That's going to be an interesting one. It does look like we're going to have standard lanes coming into the game as well. As Tabe and Rookie going to be able to take away Krugs on the bottom side of their map. We're going to see the Gromp being taken away by Jin Zhao and Road.
Yeah, of course, having those standard lanes mean the junglers can be an influential factor everywhere on the map. It's not exclusive to where the lanes are being pulled towards. It actually means that a Voidless and Kid, quite important. As this is an early... He's been outplayed already by the red buff start, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Kid takes his blue buff, jumps over the wall, tries to go towards a Voidless's red buff here, but like you said, already taken away. Going to find him in the jungle though. Gets a lot of damage down towards this Gragas. Thunderlord proc comes out too. Kid may be able to take away this Raptor camp. Gets a little bit of help from a Voidless as well.
Voidless says, don't worry, mate, you've earned it. But he also got the entire red buff and the 3 small raptors before walking away. So whilst Gragas has no health, it means Kid has an advantage for the next maybe minute in the way of getting ganks off or having map pressure in the jungle on the top side. Gragas will always have health in a jungle clear as one of those few champions that is unreasonably safe with his passive giving health back.
We have to keep an eye on the jungle later on in this game. For now, though, Road actually being rather aggressive here towards Tabe and Rookie. There goes the W coming out from Jin Zhao. Not going to connect onto either the AD carry support. Rookie even blowing his spell shield there.
Yeah, and Tabe just putting up the door. But between the both of them, that felt like a massive miscommunication already. Noting the fact that Jin Zhao and Road are a common bottom lane that you'll always see play together. These two on the side of IG are definitely not. There could be communication problems.
Well, that's going to be able to take away the Scuttle Crab down towards the Cloud Dragon, which is the first dragon to spawn on this match here.
And now IMA being the aggressors. They'll know Kid's here. They've already walked the long way around towards this red buff. Chances are they were going to wait for it. Hide in the bush.
Kid's Raptor Sense did get popped there, though, so he knows there's a ward. He didn't clear it out. Now it's just going to be taking his time.
And so what I may have done in response is that, yes, Kid knows something's up.
He just spotted them.
He actually just saw them.
Yeah, they just walked out of the jungle now. Voidless and Road actually wrapping around. Kid's going to face check into them. There's a Body Slayer coming out. The exhaust is down too. First blood will go over to Road.
I guess he didn't see them. I know there was a back ping in that general area. Kid's ward was safe in that he tried to place it over the red bush, but didn't get it in a bush. and just assumed he was fine from then on out. That was the first aggressive move made by Kid, responded to by a Voidless, and Kid pays for it with his life.
2 early invades. First one coming out from Kid, second one coming out from a Voidless and Road. And already we can see the power of these roaming supports in the LPL here.
Yeah, and because they got the kill, it works out brilliantly for Aimee. Jin Zhao was falling a little bit behind in the way of farm. Of course, he had to zone himself. He was 1v2. But Aimee's bottom lane as the 2v2 duo had basically already pushed IG under the turret, which gives Road enough time to roam around the map. If there's one thing you don't want to do against Aimee, it's have standard lanes and give Road the capacity to leave his lane.
Rookie was able to freeze out that bottom lane, giving himself a very small CS advantage, but they did pick up first blood there onto Aimee as Athena just takes no damage from that combo. Meanwhile, in the top side of the map, Amazing J actually forced to flash away. Thunderlords comes out on top of the Aurelia, but not enough to take him down.
And good animation cancelling from Kid actually to use the dash at the same time as his Q. Doesn't get the kill, but well and truly pressures Amazing J off the turret between Save and Amazing J. Shen's doing work.
Shen was actually able to get a good freeze on that lane as well, forcing the teleport coming out from Amazing J up into the top side of the map. As Road takes a lot of damage down here, got stun locked there by Tabe's passive. Rookie trying to get as many boomerangs down on towards the Trundle. Gets him pretty low.
Yeah, and you're right. The teleport was definitely forced to try and break the freeze, but he did still break it. You were looking at a potential influential TP towards bottom, but the necessity to teleport top for save was far too great, as the minions were inevitably going to be crashing onto that turret. IG, however, in this 2v2 have started to push the tempo back. As expected against the Trundle matchup, for what it's worth, Sivir should always be able to push in.
Rookie does take a turret shot there. Jin Zhao tries to step forward, but he's a little bit too low to help out. Jin Zhao nicely able to dodge out the Q coming out from Rom. Rookie gonna get tapped down. That's some good trading coming out from Aimee. Heal being popped by Rookie, but Tatai's down here, flashes forward, picks up a kill onto Jin Zhao. Now Road is trying to shoo them away from the tower, successfully able to do so, but a good rotation from IG's mid laner.
Yeah, Zatai gets the walk down to this bottom lane, even has his teleport and doesn't have to use it. And IG get the kill. Jin Zhao, aggressive move to try and trade. And even through the exhaust of Road, I think it was, yeah, and the heal. Actually, how's Road's exhaust almost back up again? It was Tabe's exhaust. There you go. They still get themselves that early kill. Good movement from Zatai.
That ties up these two teams 1-1 in kills at the moment. As they're both going to go back into farming their respective lanes. You see both the bottom lanes reset, recall, head back to base, pick up a couple of items. See the BSO coming out for Sivir. Serrated Dirt coming out for Jin Zhao on his Jin.
I think one of the major confusions that I'm going to have moving further into this game is Athena's choice to not go teleport on his Malzahar and goes for the Ghost instead. Yes, it's going to help for his lane presence, but late game, you'd want to be a split push threat with your Mal's assassination in 1v1s. Instead, looks like he wants to be grouped with the team throughout the latter parts of this game.
Kid here is able to take the red buff away from a Voidless, who face checks into the brush, but now it's going to be Amazing J collapsing as well. They're trying to get a jump on towards this Gragas. Kid blows him up, gets the first kill. Stand United is being popped on top of the Graves. Kid has to try and run away, tries to quick draw out. There goes Athena, puts down the E on top of the Graves. He's staying alive for a while, but does get taken down. The lockdown on top of the shed coming up from Malzahar as well. Now suddenly everyone's up on the top side of the map as Aimee turned the trade around 2-for-1.
The Voidlings even start jungling. They're aggressive.
Now, speaking about aggression, here's Tabe. He's trying to lock down Road. Tatai wants to dash forward too, does get the combo down, locks him down with the chains, flash out from Trundle. The pillar goes down, but the final auto attack's not enough. Road, what are you doing? He runs straight back into Tabe, chucks the witness bite at him, takes him down. That was a gift on over towards IG support.
Yeah, Road really just didn't want to live, unfortunately, at the end of that is Jin's ulting.
Curtain Call does come out. Tabe is going to be hit by two there, stuck on a sliver of health as a Voidless body slams forward, picks up another kill. Tatai's trying to chase, but has a couple of Voidlings chasing him out of the map.
We hit level 6 on Summoner's Rift, and everybody decided that it's just time to fight. 3 to 4 in kills. No real advantage to be seen in the way of gold. But Athena matches the roam earlier that we saw from Zatai, who did not even use his teleport, did not help in the top lane. And IG gets brought back to even against them.
3-4 in terms of kills, completely even in terms of gold at the moment. This has been a chaotic early game between these two teams, and most of it's been taking place around the red buff of both teams' jungle.
Yeah, so it's very much jungle camp intensive. Kid went for the first red, he went for the second red. We saw the immediate response, and we're going to see it again. However, it'll be through wards of IMA looking for the enemy red buff on spawn.
Well, during that fight, we did see Save use his Stand United to try and keep Kid alive for as long as possible. The closest distance Stand United I've seen in a long time. But teleports are coming back up and will be available for both Save and Amazing J in just a second. Tatai still holding on to his in the mid lane as well.
You would have to imagine with the Shen composition that the pressure would actually lie around this bottom lane, where IG could put 5 people there in a heartbeat.
Speaking of the bottom lane, a nice CS lead is growing here for Rookie. He's about 20 CS ahead of Jinjiao on his Sivir.
Something that I didn't think I would ever hear. Weapon bearing 80 carries.
Tabi does find Road there, pops the ultimate. Avoiler's going to try and jump into the fight too. There's the ultimate to try and knock Kid away. Road is trying to run around the long way. He's going to get taken out by Tatai. Teleport was actually coming in from Save as well to try and join the fight, but they do find that single pick. They're looking to push bottom lane.
Yeah, Save cancels his teleport. I believe that Stand United not too far away, and IG should look towards the Drake. It is a cloud though, and it doesn't actually look likely that they want it at all.
Instead, Tatai is going to be making his way down to the bottom side of the map as well. IG already working on trying to take down the bottom lane outer turret. This should fall, and IG going to be able to pick up a gold lead from it.
Yeah, actually a lot better prioritization, as Athena is a pest. A big pest.
Tatai still able to get out of there.
Of course, that's one of the major concerns that the LeBlanc will have. Going Morello Nomicon as the first item means that you can get absolutely decimated against a combo from Athena. Still, Zatai is the one moving around the map, getting it done for his team. +1 to Team Zatai. Athena lacking, no teleport to help.
And Athena's still actually falling behind in this mid lane in terms of CS as well, despite not taking the teleport, not roaming around the map at the moment.
He was a bit behind earlier as well, so it's managed to kind of stagnate in that respect. As I think the bottom 2v2 is actually where the major discrepancy is continuing to remain as they move up, because it's acceleration time. Yep,
IG do take the bottom lane outer turret, immediately swap out, put Sivir and Braum up to the top side of the map. Immediate recall is going to be coming out from Amazing J, Road and Jinjiao. We'll have to see if they do try to match the swap or if they're happy going into the mismatched lanes, and they do that.
Yeah.
Immediately send Jin up to the top side of the map.
Slow to move though, so they will probably miss minions unless Rookie, which he is at the moment, is just going to last hit, not hard push. That to me says they're confident enough in their 2v2 that they're going to stick it out this way. As IMA just tried to get every last minion that they could before going back to what seems to be a tough lane for Jinjiao and Road. Already spoke to their consistency. Seems like they are not able to duke it out. And I don't know if it's because Rookie's good at Sivir or if they're just not showing up.
His first game on AD carry this split. It's an interesting turn of events after a 1 week break from the LPL. Apparently that's how long it takes to transition from a mid laner to an AD carry.
So I may know that there's 4 people on the top side of the map. They're making a play. Well, they were.
A flash forward from a Voidless there, straight on top of Save, who just dashes out.
This is a big mistake from them, though. They tried to make a trade. It now looks like it's backfiring.
Tabe flashes forward, tries to put down the ultimate, does tag Road with the Winter's Bite. Here comes Tatai, looking to try and chain someone up, but not close enough to the top lane duo.
Yeah, but the point remains, a Voidless on the opposite side of the map to where the rest of IG are. Means that he's not going to be able to help them out in terms of defense of structures. So instead he looks towards offense on the opposite side of the map, and now he's gone mid. Zatai's just caught in a really weird spot.
He misses the chain there, going to be able to dash away from the W being put down by Jin. This turret is going to fall down. Even Amazing J is joining the push coming out from Iron Man in the middle of the path.
They're actually just going 5 mid. This is really aggro.
Wow, that's a flash forward coming out from Amazing J. Tatai needs to be a little bit careful. Here comes the Curtical. First bullet's not going to find him. The rest are going to be hard to hit too. As an ultimate comes out for Graves, Amazing J just gets taken down. A snipe coming out from the Graves jungle.
I don't know if he was tanking the turret, but he definitely had no health remaining after that aggressive dive. It's 1.5 turrets now that IMA were able to get in the middle lane, and it's one of the harder lanes to break. So granted, that was a really good rotation from them in an aggressive way. Save still had his ulti. He was still able to be there. He just chose not to use it because there was no necessity, and instead they pressure both side lanes.
This opens up a 2,000 gold lead for Invictus Gaming. They did push out and got a reset onto the turret against IMA on the top side of the map too, after taking down the top lane outer turret. This has been an awkward game between the two sides.
Yeah, just one very interesting turn of events, honestly. Since the very beginning of this game, even to now. I guess the question is, are IMA looking to be too proactive? Are they trying too hard to push IG around the map and pull them places that they might not expect to have to go? Knowing that there's a lot of roster changes, but in saying that, and this is where the problem could be with that decision, the rosters haven't actually changed. They've just repositioned.
Invictus Gaming, though, still looking to take some more objectives on the map. So they look to take down the Rift Herald. They've completely ignored the Cloud Dragon, which is the first dragon that spawned. Rift Herald are going to be their priority instead. Kid's going to be able to pick this one up on his graves.
I'd say poor Cloud Drake, but it's become so common law now that I'm just used to it. No, he's actually just that guy now. Just that guy. He's Cloud guy. No one likes him, unfortunately. Atlas does.
Yep.
I don't know what that means. Atlas does.
Atlas likes the Cloud Drakes. Neither Invictus Gaming or I may do, though. So he's still sitting in this pit. No one's even had a look at him just yet. Well, Tatai did for a while. He doesn't want it. Is he going to be able to defend this mid lane outer turret here? It's actually pretty low from the previous push that I may try to go for.
Yeah, Athena's playing one of those few champions that's actually quite good at taking down structures if it comes to it anyway. You've got a bit of extra tankiness behind those Voidlings for the turret to deal with. You're a ranged champion, so it's always a +1 in your book of turret taking. He's also going to be against a LeBlanc who has a hard time when being pushed in.
Athena has caught up in terms of CS here. He's now even with Tatai in the mid lane. Tatai, though, is 2-0-1 with the Negatron Cloak and the Morellonomicon, whereas Athena only has his own Morellonomicon at the moment.
Once again, unusual movements around the map as IMA are trying their best to respond to aggression, opposed to trading for anything themselves. They see Zatai walk top lane instead of being on the bottom side of the map and looking to contest anything. They try and kill Zatai, and it's through a Voidless, not through someone with teleport.
Well, Invictus Gaming is still looking for more objectives, but meanwhile, Amazing J is going to try and fight Tatai here up the top side of the map. Aurelia still chasing down the LeBlanc. Chain's going to be missing from Tatai.
A very timely back away from Amazing J. Works out for him as this is a big stack of minions.
Lots of wave clearers coming out there. Rookie needs to be a little bit careful. He's being chased down by Road. Ultimate does come out from Tabe. Flash from a Voidless, but there's the Sandy Knight on top of the Silver. Flashback from Rookie, gets himself into position. Now they're just mowing through the rest of Iron. Athena gets a good ultimate down on towards Tatai. And now IG have to run for the hills here. So a lot of damage will be coming out from IMA. There's a Deadly Flourish coming out as well as the Curtain Call. Tabe is going to take a few shots from this one. The third's going to connect on top of the Shem, but the fourth's only going to hit the Spell Shield from Rookie. And that's a 2-for-2 trade for these teams.
Yeah, good spell shield from Rookie, and we just saw the power of Athena on this Malzahar. Able to take out Zatai by just using the ultimate combo. Locks him down. You can always tell which LeBlanc is the real one when that passive comes out at that point. And they find an opportunity off the back of actually a really good pillar from Road, who is starting to get it done, channeling Savoki.
And they said that was a 2-for-2 trade. I was mistaken. IMA actually came out on top there, getting a 2-for-1, pulling the gold back in their advantage slightly. It's now only 1,000 gold behind Invictus Gaming from the 2,000 to 3,000 that IG were able to create previously from their map advantages.
Yeah, and you have to say, at 18 minutes, taking stock of how IG are performing, it's not that bad. I don't know what we expected, but at least it's not bad.
It's been interesting.
I'm calling that a win.
Oh, Baron's going to be spawning in a minute 40 as we are 18 minutes into this game. We can take a look at some of the items that have been completed so far. Yoma's Ghostblade coming out from Jinjiao has another Serrated Dirk, so lots of armor penetration coming out from this Jin. You see an easily large rob being picked up by Athena. Tatai sitting on the components of his Abyssal Scepter as his next item, whereas Rookie is looking towards his Essence Reaver and Zeal item pickup.
I would expect in the way of Jin at least, it'd be a more of Malmortius this time around. He's against an assassin in that middle lane, a burst mage. So you want to have magic resistance and that overshield to survive. As you're going to see reasons why potentially if Zatai can get this off.
Zatai's looking to try and get an assassination attempt down towards the Jin here as Road finds him, puts the pillar down to try and get him out of the danger zone.
Zatai's actually just such a top laner. It's now ingrained in him to hide and not get last hits in relevant lanes. He's actually finding a hard time to be somewhere important. At the moment, IG looking to threaten mid lane is going to be difficult to do as long as members of IMA stand. And the problem is, you see IG push bottom lane, they get it turned around on them. That's because they're sitting there with no real objective besides just being there.
Well, blue buff does get donated on towards Zatai. As now IMA looking to try and push towards the mid lane with 5 members strong. Lots of Voidlings being thrown down, trying to get some damage on towards these turrets. Shen is still split pushing the bottom side of the map for Invictus Gaming, but IMA looks like they might want to try and take a fight here.
Yeah, forces the ult from Tabe.
Ultimate from Tabe tries to clear out the wave. There was an ultimate coming out from Rookie as well. No, that wasn't an ultimate coming out from Rookie. And so Voidless actually takes a lot of damage coming out from Zatai. And Save has actually been able to successfully push the bottom lane into the bottom lane outer turret.
And that all kicked off actually because a pillar separated Tabe from the rest of his team. And his fight or flight response was to throw the ultimate and stand his ground opposed to jumping to an ally. IG managed to hold the fort. They don't even lose the turret for it.
So now it's a little bit more of a quiet game between these two teams after a very action-packed jungle invasion from both sides.
Feels a bit like we're item spike reliant between both of them. If I was IMA, I'd be waiting for a Hex Drinker at least for Jin Jiao, playing his namesake.
Voidless here is going to be able to find Zatai. The chains do come down from the LeBlanc. Doesn't get the second proc with the Sigil, but successfully defends Jin Jiao from any assassination attempts from Zatai.
Yeah, and the movement's still there. The 1-3-1, Zatai doesn't have teleport to be fair, but is going to be put into effect. The thing is, what does IMA actually send to deal with this LeBlanc if it's not the Malzahar? It has to be the Jin, but because they don't have Trundle with him, they're lucky Voidless is consistently protecting that AD carry. IMA's response could potentially be to just put Jin Jiao in the middle lane, but he's not wave clear. He'd have to ult for that wave clear, and that's where Rookie would start to bleed those objectives away from IMA. And so this is their resolve.
Slowly looking to do just that. As Dragon's going to be spawning in about a minute here. It's going to be another Cloud Dragon. We saw Invictus Gaming pick up the first one of this match. They could potentially look for the next Drake. Woo! A little bit more extra movement speed.
It's almost efficient now.
They're still sitting Shen down on the bottom side of the map, so Save is still continuing his split push. Waiting to get a good Stand United off to join a team fight.
Did you know that if I was to walk from bottom lane to mid lane through the river with 2 Cloud Drakes, it'd be about 1 second quicker?
That's a good second. You
1 second.
You could get a Smite Steal off that.
You know, if I had 2 Infernal Drakes instead, I would have 16% AP or AD.
The Rookie, though, he's actually going to get caught out here. Pops the ultimate, is able to get to safety relatively easily against Road.
Did have to use his spell shield early. I may now have the inside track towards this middle lane turret. They really want to break it. The tenacity they're showing towards it is admirable, but it's not actually getting them anything. They have never set up these side lanes. They've not prepared themselves to deal with it. And only now they've started trying to send maybe Athena there, if not to look for a kill.
Zatai was actually still split pushing down at the bottom side of the map. Got some good damage on towards the bottom lane inner turret. And they don't even get any damage down towards the mid lane inner turret when they went for that push.
There might be a concern with Road playing Trundle is that it's not a Bard. Plain and simple, it's not a playmaker. Yes, Bard was banned in this game, but you could play a million other champions, even like Thresh, that make plays, that hit hooks, that set your team up to go. The Trundle is a pillar that doesn't always work, and more often than not, it's used as disengage, and it's just not Road.
Well, IMA are looking to try and take down a Cloud Dragon of their own. Zatai being a little bit cheeky. Jumps over the pit, just tries to have a look, we'll see what's going on.
Gets vision.
Cloud Dragon does fall to IMA, and it's going to be a Mountain Dragon that's going to spawn next for these two teams.
Yeah, and speaking of getting vision from Zatai, that's one big major pain point to be noted from IG. They don't have much of it. Defensive pink wards are enough to suffice for IMA because of the state of the map. They need to start setting themselves up, otherwise things are just going to remain how they are.
Good poke damage coming out from Tatai on towards a Voidless rookie. Needs to be a little bit careful. Actually, the pillar knocking him out of the Jin W. Now Standing Nine's being put on top of the Sivir. Tatai finds the first kill to a Voidless. Finally, rookie's going to go down, but at what cost is Road? He's going to fall to IG's Kid as they're just going to slaughter through the rest of IMA lineup. Jinjiao now trying to run away. Amazing J splitting up for the rest of the team, but good kiting coming out from Jinjiao. Keeps himself alive. There's a dash in.
Amazing
a triple kill from Amazing J. He's looking for Kid. It's not going to be enough. Kid does get the shutdown. Jinjiao is still alive, and it's a 3-for-2 trade.
That should not have been 3 for... There was actually 4 dead from IMA. There's only Jinjiao standing. Amazing J made the best out of a bad situation. They used a lot for that Sivir, and they still barely got him until towards the later ends of that fight. Mel's ult, Gragas ult, Jin ult. Literally everything they could use to try and secure just the Sivir. That's not 5 members of IG that you're hitting, that's just 1. Kid's a carry. You've also got Zatai in that mid lane, he's a carry. Doing a lot of work in this fight. Watch his usage of Flash also after this point. And note that Jin no ult, Mel's no ult, nobody has an ult. And IG are just standing behind Tabe in his door. Big point of power. Fortunately for IG, a triple kill for Aurelia is the saving grace.
We saw leading into this fight, Amazing J already had that Trinity Force. He's now gone back to base, picked up the components of a Randuin's Omen, as well as a Spectre's Cower's Kid. Did a lot of damage in that team fight. Tabe actually doing more damage than Rookie.
Yeah, and again, it's funny because Rookie was just being CC locked the whole time, but he took so many different points of crowd control that he served his purpose in the way that IG has like 3 carries on their team opposed to just the 2 standard. And making this work is Zatai just decides he wants to teleport to safety.
Gets out of there, gets as safe as possible.
I guess he's safe now.
Certainly is. But IG were able to find a 3,000 gold lead off the back of that team fight.
And they've now got Jinjiao top lane with Amazing J. Neither of them able to get across the map quickly against the Sivir composition with LeBlanc for siege threat and a Braum to tank and defend them. Yes, they're trading objectives, but if IG were playing this smart, they would be looking to potentially dive right now.
IMA are just still pushing through on the top side of the map here. Jinjiao and Amazing J trying still to see what they can get done towards the turret here. Actually taking a lot of damage the top lane in the turret. IG need to pull the trigger now if they want to do something.
Sivir's ulted.
As there's a Sivir ulted, Tatai going to get the Shen ultimate as well. Standing Nine is going to come in and bring Shen to the fight. And also it does come out from a Voidless. Locks down Tabe with the Athena. Malefic Visions will come out. They find 1 kill. They get the turret, but they lose the top lane in the turret as well. And now they have to run away.
Yeah, the end result is actually just a trade of objectives and 1 person actually dying from IG. If IMA can get into this fight, they have a numbers advantage. They've got Jin and Aurelia now barreling down the middle lane. They've got themselves a window of opportunity where they can look to push the mid turret that they've already set up earlier.
They trade a kill and 1 for 1 in terms of turrets there. IMA still looking good in this game. They're going straight for the Baron buff. Amazing J's already started this one. There were a couple of recalls that had to be cancelled coming out from IG. Tatai's trying to do what he can to take away some of these wards.
Smacked.
They've got no vision onto this dragon. There are so many Voidlings that are just wrecking this buff. It's down to 1,000 health. Here comes Kid. He's going to look for the smite. Still doesn't get it. Tatai, he gets it. He's going to be able to take down Baron buff to IG as IMA are going to get obliterated in this team fight that follows up. Jinjiao's going to stand in the back of the pit and await his death as they're going to be able to destroy the entire IMA lineup. Athena is the last man standing, but not for long, as a miracle steal comes out from Invictus Gaming.
I think that was an auto attack from Zatai, but not only was the Baron, there's something that was completely robbed from them with a horrendous smite from the opposition. IG get an entire team fight. I expected a push down the middle lane from IMA, not a Baron. That was super ballsy. And it backfires.
And just like that, the base has been opened up here for Invictus Gaming. They could potentially try and push through or look towards another inhibitor here. So going to try and take down the bottom lane inhibitor as well.
Yeah, they should be able to get this one. The minions have now crashed, so they'll do more damage. I don't think it'll be the inhibitor, however, just the turret. IMA don't lose the game, but they lose so much control of Summoner's Rift. And we do get to see this one again. Unfortunately, we don't see how the steal came out from Zatai. I still think it was an auto attack. There's like immediate double kill afterwards, right? That was basically the lights out moment for IMA. There was, honestly, they had no health left, no mana left. They had nothing remaining to keep them in that for a fight at all.
Just like that, there is now an 8,000 gold lead for Invictus Gaming. What seemed to be a big power play coming out from IMA, forcing a 4-on-5 and a Baron, has just gone horribly wrong for their lineup.
And I guess at this point, it's a question of, do IG decide that this is their best team lineup in terms of role allocation, or is this just a mix-up to confuse people and cause disarray perhaps in the strategy of IMA? It's about that time in the year where big things need to happen if you want to try and succeed.
It hasn't costed them too much in this game. Tatai is 5-2-5 on this LeBlanc. Did get the steal down. Not quite sure how he was able to steal the Baron buff away, but did do it. There's a big play coming out from him. This rookie does get locked down by Jin there. They're looking to try and push down the bottom lane inhibitor. Sand United is available for save if he needs to join this fight at any given time.
Yeah, so Save committing to that side lane push. He's against a Burst Mage in LeBlanc, though, who's starting to threaten them. Every time Rookie has Spell Shield, he will move up a little bit closer, and that Malzahar threat is always there. Interestingly enough, Amazing J can't work top lane because he has to deal with mid. The slow play from IG is the deadliest.
And they're just waiting. Shen's already been able to take down the top lane inner Tara Kid. Gonna get stuck there by the traffic cone, but the ultimate hits the door that was put up by Tabe. Just everyone shields Rookie. This inhibitor's going to fall down. Tatai already dashing forward. Going to get stunned up by the Malzahar. And there's the ultimate coming from Tabe. Now they're looking for the fight. Road taking a lot of damage. Inhibitor does fall down. Now Juggernaut flashed on by Tatai and Rookie. That's the first kill. They're looking for the rest of them. They're just getting demolished inside of their own base. Amazing J now finally joins the fight, but he's met by a Shen. That's a double kill for Rookie. And they're looking towards the Nexus with their new lineup coming into game number 1. IG able to take down IMA.
Signs of reinvigoration to be seen from Invictus Gaming in their game number 1 victory. Of course, role swaps may be the answer right now. It seems to be working out for them for what it's worth. And an impressive closeout on a lead that IMA kind of gifted to them.
That was a rather... it's been an interesting start to the game. I mean, we've got different lineups coming in for both teams. Athena now in the mid lane coming out from IMA. We see Rookie AD carry to tie mid lane for Invictus Gaming. Then we saw a Malzahar pick coming out from IMA there as we go through a couple of highlights. Started off with 2 jungle invades from both the teams and just ended in chaos, it seemed, for the rest of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. So it kicks off very even. And you invade, I invade, everybody does the same thing back and forth. We saw signs of life from the Malzahar in the IMA team composition. Jin's ultimates were always hitting the mark, but it felt like this particular fight, whilst it was the turning point, just came down to not even a case of kill Rookie and win the game, but IG just have too many carries, a Shen to keep one of them alive, and a Braum door to keep everybody else alive. They just kite back, kill the person closest to them, and win the team fight as a result.
And this is where everything just went wrong. Tatai steals away the Baron buff after a smite was a miss there coming out from a Voilus, who, quite frankly, had a lackluster performance coming into this game, it felt.
He smote that to about 20 HP, so unlucky, honestly, from the Gragas there. But the decision to do that Baron anyway was still, to me, a big question mark, because that was aggressive, but that was to the highest degree of aggression where it probably was just going to be them dead anyway.
Well, that was Invictus Gaming taking game 1 against IMA. We're going to go into a very short break, but we'll be back with the rest of the series. Don't go anywhere.